If you sit that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you.
I can't sit here and speak to his innocence or guilt.
Is Shannon Sharpe the next Justin Baldoni? Well, the NFL legend and broadcaster is definitely taking a play from Justin's playbook. After a $50 million lawsuit of SA, he is now dropping a treasure trove of text messages that he says declares his innocence.
Imagine waking up to a brand new headline that is prominently displayed on all news feeds, entertainment channels, and sports tickers. The radio superstar and former NFL player Shannon Sharpe has retaliated with a $100 million defamation lawsuit. Just a few days earlier, the topic of discussion was a $50 million civil lawsuit that a woman named Jane Doe had brought against him in Nevada. The narrative has now been turned upside down.
And Shannon himself is dropping receipts, and I gotta say, this doesn't look good for his accuser at all.
Through seasoned lawyer Lanny Davis, Sharpe maintains that the prior accusations were based on lies so damaging that they endanger not only his reputation, but also the larger business community that surrounds his public image. Pundits from independent podcasts to network studios start adjusting their talking points within hours. What is the true significance of a countersuit of this size?
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I do see some similarities here to the Justin case. Look, Justin has now, and Johnny Depp to his credit as well.
And how did we get into a court dispute where both parties are requesting 9-figure amounts? The more than 30-page new complaint filed in Los Angeles Superior Court is a detailed dismantling of Jane Doe's initial submission. According to Sharpe's counsel, the charges were purposefully false, timed for maximum public attention, and intended to use the defendant's notoriety as leverage to demand a hefty settlement. The countersuit claims that Doe and her lawyers gave false timelines, deliberately altered texts, and made public personal information that portrayed Sharpe in the worst possible light while leaving out the background he feels clears him. According to the filing, the harm spread immediately, causing sponsors to halt their campaigns, producers to recut parts of their shows, and digital platforms to become overrun with speculative information that spread more quickly than any official statement could.
And she says that she alleges that was brutal, like it was very it was aggressive.
The claim that words have a market value lies at the heart of Sharpe's argument. He cites several brand contracts, athleisure clothing, beverage endorsements, and a high-end cognac label with morality provisions that were brought about by bad press. Citing headline danger, one energy drink maker halted a lucrative renewal within 48 hours of the initial news leak.
Now, this woman is alleging that Shannon Sharpe raped her multiple times over the course of a 2-year relationship. The relationship that they had was severe.
According to Sharpe's attorneys, the hold on just one deal might cost him 8 figures over the course of the following 5 years. The amount rapidly approaches the $100 million mark when you multiply that possible shortage across everything from live speaking engagements to his popular Club Shay Shay podcast. These missed opportunities, according to the countersuit, are not merely hypothetical.
At that point, she said that they were in a they were in an actual relationship. They were in Vegas together. So when that happened, she had already kind of been, in this thing where he's verbally abusive, allegedly, but she thought that they were together.
They are measurable line items that may be linked directly to what Sharpe refers to as careless and malicious false claims. Longtime watchers find the abrupt change of direction unreal. Sharpe is well known for controlling the camera with loud laughing and quick edits of everything from pop culture arguments to NFL rivalry. However, behind the scenes,
he tells her and threatens her allegedly to say that he will, if she ever does that again. But the original part of it, she says that she was allegedly bit anally twice and that it was very, very brutal.
Describe the whiplash impact toward the beginning of ESPN's First Take. Staff reportedly rushed to revise program rundowns in the hours following the defamation action's filing, carefully reviewing each issue that would push the host into forbidden territory. Executives called urgent meetings to discuss social media monitoring, alternative talent lineups, and risk management. According to Sharpe's lawsuit, that setting demonstrates how quickly reputational harm can undermine a broadcaster whose primary function is to provide public commentary. Sworn statements from a digital analytics company that was engaged to map out the fallout are included to the countersuit. Preliminary data indicates that within 3 days after Doe's complaint, Sharpe's name appeared in over 2 million social media posts, and sentiment analysis revealed a sharp bias toward unfavorable perceptions. A rise in deepfake films that deceptively piece together old interview footage to give the appearance of confession is also mentioned in the report.
Sharpe and Doe met at a gym in LA in 2023 when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid-50s. Doe claimed that Club Shay Show host told her during the encounter that he would buy her fake tatas.
According to Sharpe's attorneys, the damage was exacerbated by the modified material's viral distribution, which also made quick reply all but impossible. They present the matter as a classic case of defamation in the hyper-connected age, where an accusation can spread across international platforms before the accused has had a chance to log on, rather than as a celebrity's injured ego. To support the assertion,
he demanded complete control over her time and body, expecting her to be at his home, on his schedule, at his command whenever he called, attorney Tony Busby wrote in the documents.
An annotated timeline provided by Sharpe's team allegedly demonstrates that he was unable to be there at several significant places mentioned in Doe's lawsuit. The file contains time-stamped studio schedules, flight manifests, and hotel keycard data. For instance, the plaintiff claimed that Sharpe and Sharpe got into a furious argument at Sharpe's home in Beverly Glen on a night while the broadcaster was in Atlanta for a live Club Shay Shay stage event, according to airline records.
Doe became frightened when they allegedly got into the explosive argument, which the former player visibly had a arm, on his person, or I guess in the room.
In another instance, Doe's narrative describes Sharpe driving around Los Angeles, while security footage shows him recording sponsored content in New York. According to the countersuit, these inconsistencies show a careless disregard for factual accuracy, which is grounds for both compensatory and punitive damages under California defamation law. Sharpe's offensive strategy depends on more than just establishing untruth, according to legal experts.
Plaintiff tried sharing her location with her friend's phone just in case, but Sharpe saw her doing this, and the moment he realized what she was doing, grabbed her, told her, "If you ever do that again, I will effing K you."
He must demonstrate that the remarks were published with genuine malice in order to prevail in a defamation case of this magnitude. That is reckless disregard for their veracity or knowledge of their untruth. By emphasizing private text exchanges that purport to demonstrate Doe acknowledged her timing was erratic but pushed forward because the tale would work better, Sharpe's lawyers think they can reach that hurdle. Additionally, they cite a secret media strategy letter that was allegedly written by DOE's publicist and detailed intentions to give tabloids access to dramatic information ahead of possible settlement negotiations. Jane Doe's attorney, Tony Busby, quickly responded in public interviews. He frames the countersuit as a billionaire playbook intended to intimidate victims into silence and rejects it as an intimidation tool. However, Sharpe's side argues that the celebrity paradox is the true source of power disparity. Both acclaim and criticism can be amplified by fame. Furthermore, unfavorable headlines cannot be stopped after they have gained traction. The countersuit references other court cases in which public persons who demonstrate substantial financial repercussions from defamatory remarks were granted 8-figure judgments. However, experts warn that jurors occasionally strike a delicate balance between worries about stifling legitimate complaints and emotional harm, a task that is rife with social undertones. ESPN now occupies a precarious middle ground. In a statement released last week, the network reaffirmed its dedication to a fair process and insisted that Sharpe is still a valued contributor.
If the former football star would proceed with legal action if the accuser were to drop her lawsuit, and Sharpe's attorney says he does not know what Sharpe would do in that scenario, but says his recommendation would be to move forward with legal action.
One messy claim can blow months of effort and millions in ad money. Behind the spreadsheets and ratings, real people are feeling it. Close sources say Sharpe's been torn between standing strong and showing signs of exhaustion. One crew member notes the man who used to light up the room now spends breaks glued to legal updates, not cracking jokes. His family, especially his brother Sterling, urges him to take care of himself, not just chase a court win. On the other hand, Doe's camp says she's battling anxiety, sleepless nights, and online hate. Both sides wave their personal struggles, claiming that's why they must win, both in court and in the public eye. With discovery coming soon, they're bracing for every text, DM, and deleted post to be dragged out. Under California law, each side can grab phone records, cloud saves, even old drafts from ghost servers. Experts warn that once the data's out, it won't stay hidden. Leaks fly, and chopped up clips can spin a whole narrative faster than a lawyer can blink. That's why Sharpe's countersuit wants the court to lock down discovery files, fearing that out-of-context pieces could harm his name even more. Doe's side, they want everything out in the open, claiming the public has the right to know. Then there's the location battle. Doe picked Nevada, perhaps for its laws that stretch older claims. Sharpe fired back with LA, citing its witnesses, his business, and heavy media presence. Lawyers say Cali juries are unpredictable. They might get starstruck or back the underdog. If early motions flop, both sides might quietly settle to avoid a public circus. But online, it's already a spectacle. YouTube breaking down docs, Twitter dissecting every law, and Instagram memes making Sharpe's cigar photoshopped into courtroom scenes. Some influencers who once criticized Sharpe for his views on athletes are now supporting him, while others argue the lawsuit could alienate potential supporters. Money experts say insurance companies backing celebrity drama might raise premiums or refuse to cover defamation cases. Sports media sponsorships? They might start adding fine print, not just for what happens when dirt flies, but also if a celeb strikes back through the court system. This Sharpe saga could become a case study. Law and business schools are already taking notes. But to win, Sharpe needs to prove Doe lied, knew she was lying or should have known, and that those lies damaged him in a measurable way. He needs to show the sky-high damage number isn't made up, but tied to real losses. On the flip side, Doe's defense will argue she spoke her truth, backed by the law when calling out what she believed was wrong. Timing will be key. California's courts move slowly, especially in busy areas. Even fast-track cases can take months before hitting a jury. In that time, new receipts could emerge, public opinion could flip, and brands will keep checking if it's worth staying involved. Deals could be made at any point, with one bombshell deposition potentially changing everything. Sharpe's team says he's locked in, ready to take this to the end. He believes a public win, not a behind-the-scenes deal, is the only way to clear his name. Behind closed doors, he's telling people this lawsuit isn't just about clearing his name, it's about sending a message on how fragile the truth is now that clout chasing runs the game. Critics call it intimidation, saying it's a classic David versus Goliath situation. Sharpe's side argues that's exactly why defamation laws exist, to protect people from knowingly spreading lies. Both sides will keep fighting for control of the narrative as paperwork stacks up. The ripple effect will be felt. Reporters will double-check their sources. Talent agents might advise stars to run tweets past lawyers first, and streaming platforms will demand contracts that protect them from future lawsuits. This countersuit is a neon sign. Defamation risk is no longer a distant threat. It's a $100 million reality check. With court dates and evidence battles crowding the calendar, this drama isn't fading anytime soon. It's going to play out loud in courts, boardrooms, and headlines, each feeding off the other. Sharpe will keep talking sports on air, but now every take and viral moment will carry a weight. Under the cloud of legal battles, Jane Doe will live her truth with advocacy groups backing her. The real test for viewers? Patience. Courtrooms don't move at Twitter speed. They stick to rules made to separate fact from noise. In the end, this isn't just about one trial. It's about the system. How fast we jump to outrage, how elastic truth has become, and the real cost of letting rumors run wild.